And today on Talking Tottenham, we've got a question from Stuart in Colchester. And that question is, did Jose Mourinho pre-plan the Heung-min Son and Hugo Lloris fight? And to discuss that question, I have got Mark from the Spurs Express. How are we doing, Mark? And what do you think about this question?
Yeah, hi Ben. I think that's a really good question. And in my mind, the answer is absolutely he did. This is textbook Jose Mourinho, or Jose. I was criticized previously for saying his name wrong. I apologize.
Yes, and rightly so.
Yes. It's textbook Mourinho. It's been, how many years has Hugo Lloris been at the club?
Yeah.
Over 5 years, more than that.
No, more than that, yeah. He's been at us since about 2012, I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, now 8 years. How many times have we seen him do that? The answer is none. He's never reacted like that. It's so out of character for him. I know that, that the Jose talked about it, that, there was a meeting, after the Sheffield United game, and they were talking about how they can be, how they can criticize each other as a team. But I have no doubt in my mind that Jose went to Hugo Lloris and told him, if you see something, do this, stir this up and make sure everybody can see it. For me, it's classic Mourinho.
And straight out of the Mourinho playbook, isn't it?
It's exactly. And it's so out of character for Hugo Lloris. How many times have we criticized him for being too passive as a captain? People have been saying he shouldn't be our captain. Someone like Harry Kane should be captain with his passion. How many times have we said that? And then out of nowhere, after the Sheffield United game, this happens, and it could have waited. It could have waited till the players went down the tunnel at halftime, had a quiet word. But like I said, I really strongly believe this was pre-planned in order to show the cameras and show everybody that this is, that this is the way Mourinho is going to do things, and this is the way a Mourinho team will act.
And I'll tell you what, I love it. I really do, because I've never seen captain material in Hugo Lloris before until last night. I really haven't. I know we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, and everyone says he's a leader. But have you ever seen those leadership qualities from Hugo Lloris before? Because I haven't.
No, absolutely not. I know he's the captain of France, World Cup winning captain, and captain for Spurs for a number of years. But we haven't seen that before. And like I said, we've criticised him for it. How many times over the course of of the years of the Pochettino reign have we seen comments from Hugo, along the lines of, we aren't good enough, or a club like ours should aim for the top four. We're not a club which is the project of winning titles, and we've got frustrated with those. Probably sometimes realistic comments, but as fans, you don't want to hear that.
Sure.
And even judging by his the post-match press conference yesterday, it was just a different tone, completely different tone from Hugo Lloris. It's like a light has been, the switch has been flipped, and it's just, now the way he spoke last night, the way he acted last night, this was all, premeditated in my book. And basically acting on instructions. But I agree, it's great to see. I think if there's one thing that we will see, different, there'll be many things, but one really positive thing we can see from the Jose Mourinho reign compared to the Pochettino reign is it'll be a change in mentality, at least in terms of the way we speak, in terms of the way we act, the dirtiness of the way we might play in terms of tactical fouls. And that's all very needed from this Spurs side. So yeah, I'm absolutely delighted that it happened.
And also the comments from Jose Mourinho and also Toby Alderweireld after the game yesterday, I thought were brilliant, to be honest. I love the quote from Jose Mourinho when he spoke about my teams have never won the Fair Play Cup. This is the only thing these players can win at the end of the season, and I never want to win that. What did you make out of those comments? Because I thought absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, this is old. This is Jose of old.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen too much of it at Spurs. I think we've seen the the aftermath of Jose at United, is maybe lacking a bit of confidence, not the arrogant swagger which we're used to. And I think he's slowly bringing that back, and it's slowly creeping back. And those are Jose Mourinho comments of old, definitely. And just going back to the fight as well, he said it was beautiful. That's how
Yeah.
he that's how he described a fight between teammates, and just everything that he's doing at the moment is really a test to his players. He wants his players to kind of pass certain tests between now and the end of the season, which he has given his players. Definitely, obviously, one is on the pitch, and the technical side and actually how they play. But the other is mental. He wants to test them against each other. He wants to test them against themselves to see how they react to certain situations. And Sheffield United was obviously a big disappointment. He said it himself. It was a mental test which his players failed. And if that's going to carry on, then some of them may not be at the club too long. And comments like that. And I think that's exactly what he's doing. Between now and the end of the season, and you've seen that, in his interview last night, and within Hugo Lloris's behaviour last night.
Yeah, and also it's not something that we've managed to change over the years. All the managers, where you think about Tim Sherwood, Pochettino, Andre Villas-Boas, Harry Redknapp, I think there's always been a common theme within the squad that the players are too friendly with each other, not able to criticise each other, not able to kind of remove that soft underbelly that Tottenham had. I remember a massive interview, I think it was after when we lost to Chelsea, from Tim Sherwood saying, "Oh, these guys need to pull out of each other. Some will forget about this when we get back on the coach. I know I won't, blah, blah, blah." But it seems as though this is the beginning steps of that tide turning.
Yeah, I hope so. I think we probably shouldn't, maybe discredit Pochettino too much. There were definitely signs of it, especially in his first couple of years. Not in terms of the not in terms of the players having a go at each other, but just all pulling in one direction. And then we sort of forgot about this, underbelly, of Spurs, because the Pochettino, kind of era was really driven on this young team all pulling in the same direction. Unfortunately, now, obviously, that team's broken up a bit. It's got older. Injuries have played their part. And now a different approach is needed. And it's back to the drawing board of what's the mentality going to be now. So it's not to necessarily criticize the mentality Pochettino team had, because obviously they got to a Champions League final and very close to winning titles. But that team was driven by, an element of youth and excitement, and all pulling in the same direction. And this current squad doesn't have that right now. So the mentality side of things is really important, and Mourinho is going to take it in a different direction, and hopefully a winning one.
Yeah, you talk about Pochettino and his squad and about the mentality there, but even so, I know Pochettino did try and change the mentality of the club, but ultimately we did always fail at the last hurdle. In the big games, when we had that game to go above a team, when we had the semi-final, when we had a cup final, ultimately those games, that's where our mentality failed us, surely.
Yeah, I agree, and I think obviously those things you see, you saw last night. Heung Song's not going to do that again. He's going to think differently, about doing that next time, because of the abuse he's going to get from his teammates. Those are things you're going to need in cup competitions, in cup finals, and it's something Mourinho prides his team on. So, definitely, it's definitely a plus to see, and they're definitely things that are going to hold us in good stead as we go forward in terms of reshaping the side and challenging again. You need those sort of mental parameters set, and it seems definitely like Mourinho is going to at least get that from his side. What else he's going to get, let's see. But definitely the mental side of things will change, we hope. And we hope Sheffield United was just that blip. I think what we said previously, after Spurs defeats under Pochettino is, the team will learn from this. The team will learn from this.
Exactly.
And a lot of the times they didn't. And now is the real test to see, in a Mourinho team, does a team learn from this? And we'll see that after after Thursday's defeat. We definitely got a reaction on last night. I know people weren't too happy with the performance, but there was definitely an improved reaction in terms of our defending and players taking responsibility, except for Son, and we saw what happened there. So let's see if the team this time really have learnt from their mistakes, and it will take time, but definitely all you can ask is for the next game signs of improvement, and defensively we saw that.
Yeah, definitely. I think Toby Alderweireld was a very calming presence at the back, and I think Harry Winks was mopping up things lovely in the middle. But what I want to end off on is that when you look at the way Hugo Lloris had a go at Heung-min Son on the pitch, there are two ways it can go, obviously. And I just commend Heung-min Son's attitude for coming out that second half. And I thought he was our best attacking outlet in the second half, as opposed to he was quite poor in the first half. So, you know, it takes that certain character to go that way instead of just going, you know what, if you're going to have a go like me, I'm not going to play for you.
Yeah, it definitely sparked a reaction of sorts, and you know, we know Heung-min Son in terms of his character isn't going to be like that. He's definitely going to be a player Mourinho relies on, um, you know, in terms of his team going forward. But you know, like anybody, he had a moment where he didn't do his job properly, and it was so close to half time that it could have been so costly. And like you say, he came out, was much better in a Spurs side that weren't looking to attack so much in that second half and just really play on the counter. He seemed a lot brighter, and those are positive signs ahead in terms of how players are going to react to criticism under Mourinho.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's a very interesting conversation today. I think that I think it's all good signs, definitely, from the last game. I think it's a step in the right direction, albeit baby steps, but I think that we're definitely moving in the right direction. Well, Mark, thank you very much for joining me today. That is your Talking Tottenham, and see you again next time.